on, babies.
I don't shit a lot. I don't shit more than...
You shit more than anyone I know.
Seems like you do it a lot.
No, this is more of a thing that is done here on the show. I shit maybe probably the average is 1.56 times a day.
How long do you spend in the bathroom with those 1.5?
Quite a while, but I'm also a father of 2 and a husband.
So it's your alone time.
And I have a full-time job, and some days I have a very long commute, and so there are mitigating factors for what's going on here. But this whole thing is overblown. Today's a day. Today's a day. So no guarantees. Okay. My situation in that department is similar to like how the Red Sox are running their entire fucking organizations for the past half decade, which is poorly or shitty, if you'd like to go that route. But I'll tell you this, the Red Sox don't need Rafael Devers. That's what we're here to tell you. And they cannot survive John Henry. So one thing broke, one should break, whether it does or not, I don't know. But we're here to tell you why. We're here to tell you how it's probably all going to shake out, because we've seen this story over and over and over again the past several years. We're going on a decade, past a half decade. This is how the Red Sox are run now. It should come as no surprise to you that you should not believe a single word out of their mouth, and that this big time move was made. They are running the organization as well as I am handling my bowel movements. So as we always do, let's start with some opening takes here in the Simple Minds Sports Show Friday Rewind. Allow me to go to first and just extend the intro to this program. Fuck the Red Sox yet again. I feel like I do this every goddamn year, Ray. Oh, by the way, congratulations. Season 6. Welcome.
Welcome.
6 times I've done this, maybe twice. Sometimes I do it twice. Fuck the Red Sox, okay? Yet again, this is a team that a trifecta of dysfunction that we've been talking about, from ownership to management to the field. They are the epitome of a dysfunctional organization. We will chronicle that for you in the show today. But I've canceled the MLB network. I'm not paying for that bullshit to watch the Red Sox anymore. Another boycott from Team McPhee here on this team, even though they're playing well. I'd like to root for the players. The team is more it's easier to root for the team now that the petulant cunt is off of it. However, because of the dysfunction and no future because of the ownership of this team, I won't. I'll pay attention on the fringes because we do this show. Fuck them. I'm not giving them the money. They have not deserved it. They have not earned it. Bobby?
Yeah.
Well, since it's June and the only thing left to talk about is baseball, I'll talk about Jabril Pepper's rap album. He has a new one out. His new song's called Point 'Em Out, and I'll kind of give you the gist of it. It kind of goes like this. Hey, I was a great guy for years, went to college, everything was fine. And then I had a year under Gerard Mayo and I copped coke and smacked a bitch. He ruined his fucking career. That's what happened. Fuck you, Gerard Mayo, wherever you are.
I can't confirm that that's what it says, but I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
To it. It is actually, that's what it is.
Okay. Well, we're gonna need to.
I'll send it to you tonight after the show.
Excellent. Raymond.
Thank you there, Richard. 34 more days. 34 more days until the New England Patriots open the 2025 training camp. 50 more days until the New England Patriots have their first preseason game against the Commanders, and 80 more days until the New England Patriots have their first game of the 2025 season against the Las Vegas Raiders. That is all I have to look forward to now for the sports for the rest of the 2025, because the Fenway Group needs to sell because they are just botching the whole program right now. The Bruins are officially in rebuild mode, and the Celtics will be without Jason Tatum until at least 2026. So, Drake, don't fuck this up, bud.
Oh, Ray's disappointment this year with the Patriots is going to be a must-watch. It's just melting into his own puddle of misfortune is going to be must-watch stuff. So we'll do all that tonight. The Red Sox back to a laughing stock, although the team on the field is winning as of now. Look, just don't get too used to it. We'll talk about that. The ins and outs of the Rafael Devers trade, some of the highlights from that debacle. 10 questions from a guy named Rob. A little check-in on the Celtics and the Bruins. This or that? Nope. Scratch that. Dr. Big Mac's big brain gets racist, so you definitely want to check in with that. And Simplest Minds of the Week, as always. This is the Simple Minds Sports Show, Friday Rewind, June 20th, live here on Juneteenth. Happy holiday, everybody. Happy. The Celtics are dumb front-running pussies. This is the same team they have been for 4 years running.
Well, my worst nightmare came true. Missoula and Mayo are friends. What the fuck? Apparently, they've known each other since Virginia. They have these docking sessions where they talk about ball and managing people.
I'm on vacation. I'm going to quay all these. I'm going to fucking watch them this week.
You say quay?
Is it not quay?
It's Q. It's Q. It's Q-U-E. You idiot.
Is it not quay?
It's Q. It's Q. It's Q-U-E. You idiot.
I feel like we're due for another QUE moment. We got to give Ray a little bit more runway to get some of that stupid falling out of his mouth again. You know?
I know, yeah, he's been holding it
I'm
in
drinking.
for a while.
Yeah, he has been drinking on the show for a while, washing
I
his
know.
weight like an asshole, and that's when he gets quiet, or he does the gummy and he gets real quiet. Oh,
I've been drinking, baby. Don't worry.
He's got those 4.2 high noons. He's gonna be
I've been drinking all day. Don't worry about it, baby.
That,
I'll be good.
letting her rip. We got to get into it. This is a very boring, don't give a shit season, unless you're a Red Sox fan, unless you're paying into the Red Sox. We'll get there in 1 second. Before we do, as always, if you're watching on YouTube, you're welcome. New room for Bobby, devilishly handsome Ray. If you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, please rate, subscribe, review, tell your friends, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're bringing you content every week, show every week. Go to simplemindsports.com, join the newsletter. We've got some free giveaways coming around from Fan Fanatic, your most popular Boston apparel shop in New England. So go to the website, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. We'll give you some free shit. And come back here every Thursday night or Friday morning to hear our latest on Boston sports. And today, we're starting Red Sox, of course, in the Devers trade. However, look, if it wasn't for this ridiculous trade, what we'd be talking about is the Red Sox winning, 11 of 13 or 9 of 11, wherever you want to draw that line, the pitching coming into form, a sweep of the Yankees. They've won their past 4 series, 6 out of 7, I believe. The team is playing well. They're back in playoff contention. They're above 500. You've got Marcelo Mayer coming on strong here with the bat. You got some young kids doing it. Kristen Campbell, RIP, sent back to the minors. Little blip in the radar there for the nerds over there at Fenway. We can get into that if you'd like. Fucking snowball on that. Those dickheads and their fucking parade that they launched when they gave that guy a contract and sent him up to the big leagues for no fucking reason because he didn't deserve it. The things wrong with the Red Sox, the list is so long, but we haven't had a chance to talk about the Devers trade. So let's do that. Rafael Devers traded to the New York Giants, to the San Francisco Giants. In return, Jordan Hicks, Kyle Harrison, and prospects James Tibbs and Jose Bayo. Jordan Hicks is 28 years old. He has struggled as a starting pitcher with a 6.47 ERA. He is the hallmark piece that you've got in return here as a Major League Baseball player. Because the other kid's a 23-year-old pitcher named Kyle Harrison, who was immediately sent down to the minors in the return for Rafael Devers. He's sporting a 4.56 ERA in the big leagues this year. Tibbs, the 22-year-old outfielder, was the 13th pick overall in the first round of the draft by the Giants last year, but he's 22. Roman Anthony is 20. So he's the 13th ranked prospect in the Giants system as a 22-year-old outfielder. The Red Sox have about 1 billion outfield prospects. So, if you get excited about that, God bless you. The other kid's a 20-year-old rookie playing in Florida. They didn't get shit back. They got nothing. This was a salary dump through and through. And I'm having a hard time determining where I want to start with this. Does anyone want to give just their general opinion on their first initial reaction when the Rafael Devers trade went through?
It's funny that they were on a West Coast trip, so they didn't have to deal with the fans and the backlash. They did it. They kind of scapegoated that way. I think that was hilarious. Devers, yeah, it seemed like he was hitting, he was connecting. He just wanted, like, before he got dealt, 2 hours before he got dealt, he had a press conference and there he was saying, I just want to help this team win at any cost. Whatever they need me to do, I'll do. And then all of a sudden, see ya, you're going to San Francisco.
Bobby.
Yeah, the first thing I thought the trade was, I was interested in it because obviously we've discussed how much of an asshole this guy is. But then I looked at who those players were, and I don't know baseball anything. I'm like, was this worth it? Is this a good trade? I don't know, but ultimately we'll see how it pans out for them. It could be addition by subtraction.
Here's the problem, and here's where the confusion comes in. The initial reaction for me was good. I hate that guy sucks. Get him off the team. He does not have a winning quotient. He was part of the 2018 championship team as a platoon rookie that hit like, what's the most memorable hit you can remember from Rafi Devers? Exactly. You don't have one. Since then, he has been the poster child of a losing organization, which we've talked about a lot on this show. One of the big reasons, in my opinion, we got here with Rafi Devers is because the way the organization has not only handled him, but the entire thing, which they continue to do, which is they made a complete shift in ideology, fiscal ideology. They're now 13th in payroll as a franchise that's worth $5 billion. So that alone is going to set you up for failure or mediocrity or both. Their path towards the future is going on 10 years. The future is the present for the Red Sox. To put it plainly, they are managing assets. They are reacting to a market that is called baseball, and they're managing assets like it's a hedge fund. They're not building a baseball team. So it's a love-hate relationship for me on this move. I love that Rafi Devers is off the Red Sox. He's an overpaid DH that is not a leader. He's a very good hitter. Overall, he's a pretty good baseball player. Their World Series odds didn't change one iota with him on the team or off the team. So that should tell you everything. Vegas doesn't give a fuck. His teammates don't give a fuck. John Henry had a meeting with this kid, looked him in the eye and said, "Can you play first base?" He said, "No."
I played third base.
Third base.
No, third base. John Henry crinkled himself out of whatever fucking chair he was in, like Mr. Burns, and said, "Get that piece of shit off my team because I don't want to pay him $30 million a year. I never wanted to pay him $30 million a year. I don't want to pay anybody $30 million a year for 10 years. That's our philosophy. Get him off the team." And then Craig Breslow went and found the one team that would pay this guy's full salary, and that was the number one. That's the biggest problem. That was the number one thing that they were looking for, is to take the salary. They weren't looking to improve the team. So you can say addition by subtraction, like Marcus Smart leaving the Celtics was addition by subtraction. Marcus Smart is not as good a basketball player as Rafael Devers is a good baseball player. So you don't get better on the field moving Rafael Devers and getting the return that they got. So I like that he's off the team. I hate the fact that it was because it was a salary dump. And this is more of a bigger picture, like I started the show. It's more of a bigger picture of the dysfunction of the Red Sox, which we got chronicled. God damn it, I didn't write his name down. Who was the? Go ahead.
Dustin Pedroia.
No. No. The reporter that gave the massive takedown article this week. I'll find it in a sec. If one of you guys wants to,
I want to ask you a question. So if you were like the young kids that they're bringing up here, the mayor, Anthony, Duran, Cassis, wouldn't you be looking at this and be like, all right, they're not going to pay me that kind of money. They've shipped off Betts. They've shipped off, or they let Xander Bogaerts go to San Diego, and now they just shipped off Devers. Like, what is my future here in Boston? Like, do you think these guys look at that kind of stuff and be like, I don't have a future here? Like, pretty much when my contract's up, I got to go to the highest bidder and get out of here because, like, no matter what, this team's not going to treat me right, and they're going to just ship me off to the highest bidder if I don't produce.
Yes. Yeah, they're building a culture of they're building a culture of mistrust and dysfunction. They will tell you, and I have a lot of quotes here from management. They will tell you that that's one of the reasons they got rid of Rafi Devers, because he was feeding into that, and his negative attitude was not building a winning culture here. But you're absolutely right. If Roman Anthony in 3 or 4 years, if they lowball him in extensions like they did with Mookie Betts, like they did with Bogarts, like they did with Devers until they were, forced into giving him a deal because the entire city of Boston booed John Henry out of the Winter Classic. If they and John Lester, like it goes down the line, if they lowball these kids with the extension and it comes time to nut cutting time, they have no history of keeping their homegrown talent around.
No.
So yeah, you're exactly right. In the here and now, Marcelo Mayer and Roman Anthony aren't thinking about that. They're thinking about getting hits. Roman Anthony has 2 hits in the big leagues. But when the time is right, it's in the back of their mind. Is just and that's how you breed losing culture when guys are here for themselves. Roman Anthony steps in the box. Roman Anthony is hitting for Roman Anthony. He's not hitting for the Red Sox. That's where you got to Rafi Devers. That's why you had to trade him, because you built an organization of losing dysfunction. So everybody's out for theirs. They're not out for the team. And then you get a guy like Rafael Devers that when asked to move off third or play first, he says, no, third base. Because you fucked around and haven't put a winning organization out there and cheaped out, and you've been a mess, and you get players acting like this.
So do you think some of these players are like scared though? Like, say, like, what if Roman Anthony, they want him to move to a different position? Do you think now, like, oh shit, now I have to do it because I don't want to be labeled like Rafi Devers?
No. I think that especially in a sport like baseball. And this is I saw a quote. I don't know if it was a report or just an anonymous quote, but the response around baseball is bad for Devers. It's also bad for the Red Sox, but their dysfunction goes deep. We're going to get into it. The way Rafi Devers handled himself is not good. You don't do that. Of course not. Yeah. You're asked. He was not asked to do a whole lot, and he was asked very nicely and given a ton of fucking slack to be pissed and then get over it and move on. Okay, you don't want to do the third base. You don't want to practice. You don't want to rehab. You don't want to play anything. You don't want to play at all in spring training. You start the year statistically, quite literally, with the worst start in MLB history because you didn't give a fuck. And then you hit again. And then your first baseman goes down. And no. Then the third baseman goes down. Your original position? No. Like, you don't get away with that. That's not going to affect other guys on the team from a standpoint of I better do what the team tells me. That's going to affect them with like, what's this guy's fucking problem? Why are we dealing with the undercurrent of Rafael Devers this season? Just get this guy out of here. He's a pill. Like, just move on. Like, he sucks. He's not doing anything for us other than hitting the ball, which is fairly important. But, if you're trying to build something, it's gonna hold you back.
Well, like you've been saying all along, if you're a cancer in a locker room and you have all this young nucleus in the locker room, then you don't want this guy to be the lead guy, the top paid guy in the locker room. So yeah, you don't want this guy giving negative thoughts to these younger guys and be like, no, don't give a fuck, don't worry about this and all that other shit. So getting rid of him was probably the best thing for this young core.
Yeah, I think in the long run, it's a good move to move on from. You hate the way that it went down and you hate the return. So you have to, there's a report that Breslow didn't shop it around. And now, like always with these big deals, you're getting reports from every angle from everybody trying to cover their ass. So you're getting the smear campaign of guys leaving Boston is historic, right? Tito Francona is heralded as the best manager in Red Sox history, broke the curse in 2004. You have the 2011 chicken and beer scandal, and all of a sudden he's like
piece of shit.
Like they were talking about like sex stuff with Tito. Like they were bringing out the woodwork to smear this guy on the way out of town. This is why everybody has a full membership card to hate the Red Sox. I hate them. I don't hate the team, but I hate the ownership, and now I hate the management. Sam Kennedy, fuck off. Every word out of that guy's mouth from now on is a lie. That dude has not told you the truth in years. He is a lying man. Craig Breslow, I don't think he knows what he's saying half the time. It's very Gerard Mayo-y, corporate, mumbo-jumbo, nerd speak that just tries to confuse you and get you on to the next program instead of just saying Rafael Devers was an asshole, so we decided to move on from him. We didn't want to retain any salary because John Henry had a meeting with him and he hates the guy now. So I did my best, and I'm not very good at my job. That's how Craig Breslow should have summed up how the Rafael Devers trade went down. You don't want to eat any salary, John? Like a little bit? Can you get their best prospect back, who's a first baseman, who's struggling in AAA right now, but that is a top 20 prospect in baseball? I forget his name, Eldridge, I think, from the San Francisco Giants. Can you just eat a little salary from Devers to get the top-rated prospect, who's a first baseman, which you have not had since? I can't tell you the last. Fucking Movan's the last regular first baseman the Red Sox have had that you can rely on. You can't eat a little salary. You had at least a couple teams that were in the running that if you ate some salary, they would have been your return would have been better. You would have been a better team now and a better team in the future. Their main goal was to not eat any of that money, which is why everybody has a full membership card to hate this fucking team. And it starts
Even
with
Boston fans. Yeah.
It's
talking about Bryce Eldridge.
I think I nailed that. Didn't I say Eldridge?
You did.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Your dysfunction, this whole scenario is a microcosm for the dysfunction of this team. And out of it, June Lee is the guy's name I was talking about who wrote the piece. It's on Mass Live, I believe. Go read June Lee. I'm gonna give you some quotes from it. But the dysfunction of the Red Sox organization will not be solved without a sale of this team. It starts at the very top. It starts at the absolute very top of John Henry. They're 13th in payroll. That's where they want to be. They're worth $5 billion. Liverpool spent $150 million in the offseason. The Fenway Sports Group is out there spending money. This is the way it's going to be. And you combine that with the expectations of the city, the expectations of the organization, and the way that they lie to everybody and bullshit their way through every deal that they make and don't make. This is the way it's going to be until John Henry dies or sells. Just
do you think he's going to sell, though? Do you think, honestly, in like the next 5 years, do you think he's selling this team?
No, he's never selling this team. As long as he is alive, he will not sell this team. I don't understand why people think that's happening. This is a line item on his fucking book. He's going to be the Fenway Sports Group is like trying to take over. This is what these conglomerates do. The private equity group for the Dodgers just bought the fucking Lakers for $10 billion. No one's selling. Nobody's selling the Boston Red Sox. John Henry dies, and whoever gets it wants to sell it. Fine, that might happen, but no.
So
buckle up, people. It's gonna suck forever.
No, there's no way. How old is he?
He's not that old. 70s. He's not that old. Modern medicine,
and he has access to a lot of special drugs. Keep him going.
Yeah,
75. Yeah, 75.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna suck for a long time. So you take that, you got the ownership, their whole view of the whole thing. People are not making a big enough deal of this. I'm all over the place in this. I've been trying to figure out how I want to talk about it today, and there's so many angles I haven't figured out. I'm not good enough at this, and I have pooping on my brain. I'm prairie dogging this whole time, and I've just lost my train of thought. Oh, people are not making a big enough deal of the fact that John Henry flew out of whatever dark cave he was in to Kansas City, to sit down in some dusty room with Rafael Devers, a player on his team, and the brand new GM, who's a nerd, Craig Breslow. We're unsure if Alex Cora was even allowed in that meeting or if he was like adjacent to this meeting. John Henry, who doesn't speak to the media, who has not publicly shown his face barely ever, flew to Kansas City, Missouri to sit down with Rafael Devers to ask him if he was going to continue to be a piece of shit or not. And Rafael Devers said yes.
Yes, I am. See.
The fact that that's not brought up every time this story comes up is ludicrous. Keep an eye out. Tell me the next time an owner, especially one that is not like in the limelight, that is, not looking for headlines, flies to the Midwest to confront a star player who tells him basically to fuck off. Tell me the next time that happens in professional sports.
Had to happen with Tyreek Hill, maybe.
It will not happen. It
No.
won't. That was and John Henry, he knew it too. He knew this guy was going to tell him to fuck off. This was his out. It's like, I'm getting out of this $300 million contract. I'm going to fly my skeleton ass to Kansas City, corner this fucking brat, and make him play first base. And he's not going to do it. And I'm going to tell Breslow to trade him for nothing. It was all Mr. Burns' plan. He was going to go drop $150 million on some fucking pussy soccer player in Europe. Sorry, Ray, I didn't mean that.
Several pussy soccer players in Europe.
I want to move on to field personnel and how the Red Sox don't really need Devers. Do you want to touch on that at all, Ray? The ownership piece of this and the fact that they own Liverpool, they spend a bunch of money in Liverpool. If people think that doesn't matter, you're stupid. There's reports that they want to potentially sell a minority or a majority piece of the Penguins. I'm talking about Fenway Sports Group here, of course. They've been linked to the Las Vegas NBA team. That who knows what that's going to be, how much you're going to have to pay for that. The Celtics sold for $7+ billion. The Lakers sold for 10. So what does it take to get in there? Who knows? If you don't think all those things are related, you're nuts. How do you not read between the lines on that? What else do you know about Liverpool, Ray?
Well, Liverpool has one of the top 5 premier players in Salah. They just signed him to a lucrative deal a few years ago. Then they just signed their center midfielder, I believe, for like $150 million. And I think they have a left back or a right back they have to sign still, and he's going to get up to like $50 to $60 million. So they are spending. They just won the Premier League last year, so they're spending top dollar to retain all these guys and keep that group together. So I just think ownership is putting all their eggs in that basket because that is probably a bigger market. I mean, it's weird to say because Boston Red Sox is such a big thing around in America, but the Premier League is the top echelon of soccer out there in Europe. So, I mean, they're putting all their eggs in that basket right now.
Well, they're putting a lot of them in there. And Liverpool, from a net worth standpoint, are worth a little bit more than the Red Sox at this point in time. And they're winning, which helps.
Championships. That usually helps.
Okay, let me just move to the field personnel real quickly to wrap up the Devers side of it. This is why I'm confident that I'm right about Devers moving on from the team. His teammates don't care. They do not care that this guy.
Didn't Durant say he was taking a nap or something?
He said, I got the quote from Durant is, he's a great player, but at the end of the day, it's how many guys on the roster? 26? That's just one guy. We've got 25 other guys that are pulling from the same line to win the series, not just one. That's the key line there. So he was very dismissive in the first line. How many guys we got on the team? 26? This is one of them. Like, fuck this guy.
Fuck him.
But the key line is, that's just one guy. We've got 25 other guys that were pulling for the same line to win those series. You could just see, this is how baseball goes. And if you have a winning team, then you can deal with someone like Rafi Devers. If you have a growing team like the Red Sox, you can't. You've got young guys trying to learn how to win, all pulling in the right direction, all rooting for each other, all doing what it takes to win for the team. And then Devers is in the corner telling his general manager and quite literally his ownership to fuck off in Kansas City. Duran's like, I don't need that. We don't need that. Like, I get you're really good, but you're not on the same page. Good riddance. Cora has been reported this. He didn't say it. I'll give you his quote. You can read between the lines, but he is quite relieved not have to deal with this on a day-to-day basis. I don't blame him. Here's his quote. There's some reasons it didn't work out, right? I don't want to pinpoint stuff, but the last few months haven't been easy. We made decisions in the offseason. Circumstances have changed the last month, and that's the business decision we made as an organization. You want me to read that between the lines for you?
Yeah, please.
If anybody would like to remove the fence out of my ass that is currently residing from Alex Cora, feel free. But that's me saying the organization handled this like a dysfunctional recluse, and the player was an asshole to deal with. I've been caught in the middle trying to win ball games, and I'm glad it's fucking over. That was Cora's reaction to that. And then just to top it all off, the petulant little bitch that he is, in spring training when asked if he would move on for third base, very famously, no. When asked to play first base, no. They asked me to put him in my glove, which led to this trade. The second he lands in San Francisco, actually, before we get to that, can I just give you the most, like, my favorite part of this?
Yeah, absolutely.
The fact that they made that trade Sunday night after they swept the Yankees and are about to go on a West Coast swing for 10 days and be out of the limelight in Boston and playing at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Fucking cowards by the Red Sox.
Yes.
But also, they dick this guy down one more time. He gets on the Red Sox plane, and then they're like, actually, you're traded, bitch. Get a fucking taxi. We're not getting you a car service back to Fenway. Get your own taxi back to Fenway. Get your shit and get yourself to San Francisco. Bye-bye. The video of him showing up to Fenway in a taxi, walking into the garage with like a duffel bag and then driving himself out of there, is like, fuck you, dude. Peace. And then he shows up in San Francisco and says this.
Big kind of questions for you is, there's a 5-time Gold Glover at third base already. He's not healthy right now, but once he returns, it's the matter of position. Have you talked to Buster and Bob about potentially playing first base? Do you see yourself more as a designated hitter? And what were those conversations with the Giants brass like regarding your long-term position with this team?
Yo estoy aquí para ayudar al equipo en lo necesario, en lo que ellos quieran. Soy uno más del equipo y estoy disponible a dar el 100% de mí donde me pongan. No tengo ningún pero, no tengo ninguna decisión. Solamente ellos son los jefes míos y juego donde me pongan.
I'm here to give my 100%. I don't put any buts. They're the men in charge. I am here to play wherever they want me to play.
What a cunt.
What a prick. What an absolute prick. All right, we've got a lot of quotes here. We're running late on the Red Sox, but I do want to get to that June Lee story. So I talked about the dysfunction, the 3 prongs of dysfunction of the Red Sox. The ownership, which is running it like a mid-market team. We thought that might have changed a little bit this year with Craig Breslow, spending a little money, making big trades. Not the case. We know that now. We talked about the on-field players just trying to get in the right direction. But then you get to the front office and you get Sam Kennedy lying with every word that he talks. Everything that he says is a lie. We don't have to play the clip right now, right? Just go look up Sam Kennedy's press conference after Devers. Everything he says is nonsense. And then you got Breslow. His corporate jargon is really annoying, but honestly, from his press conference, a lot of what he had to say is basically what we were just saying. It's 1,000 words to say Rafael Devers was an asshole in the locker room. Most people wanted him gone, and I had a mandate from ownership to not eat any of the money. That was more or less what he said. The question will be, will they go spend that money on anybody to help the team this year and moving forward?
Nope.
I don't think the answer is a flat no. They're
not going to spend all that money. They'll probably spend some of it, but they're not going to spend all of it.
This is true. But I would be very surprised if they did not make a deal at the deadline this year to try and help their team. It won't be anything. You're right. It won't be anything big. They're not going to blow us out of the water with something. They're not going to sign those deals. That's coming from ownership. But they have to. They have to.
Well, it all depends on how they're doing too. If they're above 500, they have a shot at making the playoffs, which they do right now. Aren't they theoretically the last playoff spot right now for the wild card?
I think so.
I think it just depends on where they are. July 31st is a long ways away. So, I mean, we still got a month and a half left of baseball to see where they go. I mean, they are on a hot streak right now with Devers gone. Let's see what happens come then. If they're still winning, then yeah, I think they're going to spend, let's call it half. They'll probably spend half that salary that Devers had.
Yeah, we'll see.
Adding.
Let me just read you these quotes and then we'll turn it over here. This is from Breslow. It's important to point out that this is in no way signifying a waving of the white flag in 2025, which I believe. We're committed. I don't believe this. We're committed, as we were 6 months ago, to putting a winning team on the field, to competing with our division and making a deep postseason run. I don't believe that's true. I think they're managing assets, but I think they're constantly trying to split the baby, look to the future, not sign any deals that they don't like. They're trying to win deals. They're not trying to build a baseball team. So both things can be true. And this is why I believe that. This quote right here. I think when you consider the flexibility, the ability to give some of the young players some run, the opportunity to maybe repackage some of the resources and fill some voids in the roster as early as approaching this year's deadline and be really intentional about the environment that we create for these young players to thrive in, then I do think that there's a real chance that at the end of the season we'll be looking back and we'll have one more games that we have otherwise would have. Whew. That's a lot of words to say what he was trying to say there.
I like how you read that very fast, too.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe we'll get back to this because it is baseball season and good chance the Red Sox go into a dive, but we will. Next week, we'll do a fuller dive into the true dysfunction of the Red Sox, starting with this piece from June Lee and Breslow. I'm just going to read these full quotes. They're fucking awesome. Meanwhile, Breslow has grown increasingly insulated. Multiple sources within the organization describe a front office losing cohesion. Staffers who helped rebuild 4 championship teams, veterans of Theo Epstein, Ben Sherrington, Dave Dombrowski, and Bloom regimes, now feel shut out of the operation. The collaborative spirit that once defined the Red Sox baseball operations has frayed. The discontent intensified in May 24 when Breslow brought in sports consulting firm Sportsology to conduct an organizational audit. The stated purpose was to streamline baseball operations. In practice, it triggered a wave of firings and accelerated the marginalization of some of the longest tenured voices in the building, characterizing the culture shift to align with more Wall Street efficiency. One of the clearest signals came in an internal team Zoom meeting earlier this season. Toward the end, Carl Mosch, the Red Sox scouting supervisor and a team employee since 2017, thought the call had ended. It hadn't. As the meeting wrapped up, his voice cut through a quiet moment. Quote, "Thanks, Brez, you fucking stiff," Mosch said, according to team sources. Mosch was later fired.
You fired.
And Breslow continues to insulate them. What kind of other language do you need? Characterizing the culture shift to align with a more Wall Street efficiency, a consulting firm called Sportsology to streamline baseball operations, to marginalize some of the, this is Gerard Mayo. This is Gerard Mayo and Optum rolling into Fenway, trying to make this, they are not building baseball teams anymore. They are reacting to the market and managing assets. That's the Boston Red Sox.
Yuck.
So congratulations. Congratulations to you. Oh, also they're running interviews with AI bots.
That's fucking awesome.
Which they
Kind of cool.
Can
we get those bots to come up with content for us?
I think they do. I think that's how Ray does the social media.
Yeah, great.
Maybe.
Great. Never mind.
Anyway, sorry, boys. I feel like that was a McPhee rant there on the Red Sox as per usual.
And now we know why you have hot snakes.
And now the
it all comes together.
And frankly, I feel better.
Oh.
I feel better. So we'll give you guys a little time to chance. Let's throw it over to headlines with the obvious one, which I know is touches his heart. This subject, we don't do it much in the show, but I wanted to give him a spot to really touch on it. And then 10 questions with a guy named Rob.
Okay, hi. I'm your host, the obvious one. Let's dive into some WNBA tea things that actually matter. Because apparently Boston's not a thing in women's slams, and I love the WNBA. First up, Commissioner's Cup Final. Fever versus Lynx showdown. Indiana Fever stomped Connecticut 88-71 with Caitlin Clark dropping 20 points and 6 assists and getting poked in the eye by J.C. Sheldon, then shoved to the floor by Marina Mabrey. Cue digital replay of my eyeballs rolling in the back of my skull.
Yeah.
League slapped Marbury with a flagrant 2 and a fat fine of $18. No suspension, though. Classic WNBA. Let's keep it spicy, but not too spicy vibe. Now the Fever, 4-1 in the cup record, face off against MVP frontrunner Nafisi.
Nailed it.
Yep. And Lynx, they're 5-1 on July 1st for a juicy 500,000 pot. That's a cool $5K for each player. While my dumbass tries to lift my naked ass off the shitter. Number 2, Caitlin Clark's return was a show. Clark missed 5 games with a quad injury, returned, and boom, 32 points, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds in a rivalry-stirring upset over New York Liberty and handed them their first loss ever this season. Her comeback was top 3 watch WNBA game on ABC, 2.2 million average, 2.8 million peak. The NHL Stanley Cup Game 6 got only 2.4 million views. Losers. Yeah, triple trouble. Angel Reese makes history. Chicago Skies. Angel Reese pulled a first ever WNBA triple double, 11 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists, plus 3 steals and 2 blocks in a 78-66 win over Connecticut. Brawls ensued. Reese got grabbed by the hair and threw hands because she's a badass, and I respect her immensely. 8:30 piece night scoring frenzy. Holy fudge. I love fudge. 8 different players dropped 30 points in 1 week, from Caitlin Clark to Paige Buckners and Nafise Buckners, and Collier again. I love these girls, slaying so hard. Standing snapshot as of June 18th, the Lynx are 11-1, Liberty 10-1, Mercury 9-4, Atlanta Dream 8-4, Seattle Storm 7-5, and the Fever are 6-5. We got some rumor mills though. Quickly, Liberty Natasha Cloud to face her ex-teams after offseason drama. She got blindsided in trades, ended up in New York, and now she leads with 6 assists a game alongside, never can say that girl's name, and Stewart. Go Queens. Kelsey Mitchell's been balling for Indiana, but big whispers around the league. Aaliyah Boston ever sent her a cheeky 2-word shout out this week? I think it was nice claim. Nice. This has been Headlines with the Obvious Ones. Stay thick, Boston. 10 questions with a guy named Rob.